All right, boys. Trade recap. Let's get into it. Got break even today. Go over what I was looking into pre-market and why I decided to take this trade. As you can see, the buy is just completely wrong. And this is why I used to just like not even care about the trend, like the high time frame trend, because like, bro, there's so many times I've seen and also in backtesting where we're like obviously trending in one direction. And it makes sense if like a certain high or low is high resistant at that point, so it makes sense for market to reverse at that point. But like, that's why I kind of just like didn't care about the high time frame trend. But I know how important it is to follow the trend. I'm just I'm just coping. That's just something I wanted to say. But let's get into it. We didn't have news today. It was just like the Treasury dude talking. He already spoke at noon, but let's get into it. So coming to the day, I was kind of neutral, but also just looking at market structure. I mean, we're bearish, and so I wanted to be bearish, and but I wanted to see more confirmation that we actually wanted to go lower to target certain, draws if we had any. So I mean, there really wasn't any draw for us to go to. It was kind of like it was like this recent low that price ended up hitting like right as soon as market open, and then we had this low that I mean, these lows are just like kind of just like lows. They're not really any significant. Like really, this is the only significant one. This intermediate low inside this 4 hour gap. I mean, what is this low on the 4 hour? Not really anything. I mean, even on the 1 hour, it's just a low. So it made sense that I mean we didn't have to take it this low, but I mean we're gonna be bearish and I'm gonna see like volume and displacement going down to the direction I want, then if I find an entry, then I'm gonna execute. But that's why this trade probably didn't play out and just the whole bias was wrong. But yeah, let's get into it. So market open, this 5 minute candle. Okay, there's your confirmation, kind of that we potentially want to go lower to hit those targets. Just keep dumping, make this 5 minute gap. We get a tap. I guess you can say that's what well, no, the trade wasn't really based on that because I was seeing this 15 minute and I was kind of waiting for it to open. And there was sort of an entry at this point right here, I guess, this 1 minute inverse, but I was not going to take that because I just did not feel comfortable and just in general, don't feel comfortable taking entry, having your stop at like a 5 or 15 minute gap, and then it would just be annoying getting stopped out and then price eventually hitting your target. So I've seen it before, but also there's a lot of times where we don't feel that gap. And like today, we did not feel this 15 minute gap, but I saw on ES we actually did feel that 15 minute gap. And there wasn't an SMT, but I felt like we really didn't need to fill that 15 minute gap, especially after this displacement. Before the displacement, I literally wanted to see that. I want to see a displacement and then potentially people get stopped out or market go up to this high, take it out, and then look for another entry, my actual entry that I would want. But then I noticed, like I said, that 15 minute gap got filled on ES. But as I mentioned, there wasn't really SMT, so there was a thing. I thought there was gonna be a SMT since we filled the gap on ES, but we didn't on NQ, but we didn't. Um, which caught me by a little surprise. But at that point, I was like, all right, if we get a fill this gap, I'm gonna enter. I put a limit order like a little above the gap fill, so I got like filled right here. And I don't know if I mentioned it last video or I just told myself, but I'm just gonna start risking 1,000 per trade. I lose two in a row, and then that's the account. And yeah, I'm not trying to do like this slow journey of trying to pass an account again. Just I know what I'm trying to look for. Just trying to take the highest probable trade I can, and then just try to pass the eval. soon as I can, not try to waste any time on it, and then so I can go on the XFA. And so I feel limit order got filled right here. Went in with 10 at first, and then I realized, why am I risking 500? And so I waited a little bit until we got back to my entry point, added 10 more. So right here wasn't exactly 1,000. It was like 975, but yeah, to cover for the fees and whatever. And then yeah, but what I like from today is how I managed the trade. So I went break even, put stops at break even after this 1 minute displacing candle out of this 1 minute gap, because this is the really only thing that's saving this trade or protecting this trade. And so yeah, if we're gonna make that displacement and if we're bearish, we shouldn't go back up. We should just run to these lows. And I thought that was gonna happen, but it did not happen. And so yeah, eventually got stopped out at break even. I thought I got lucky with this edge right here. So this blue line is where I'm put stops at break even, little slightly into profit, just cause to cover for the fees and to, you know, not get a red day, I guess. Put it right here. I thought I got saved seeing that, and then boom, these two candles so close to TP, but ended up reversing. We did have a SMT. ES already took that low. It's annoying, but it is what it is. And yeah, eventually got stopped out. So, and then looking how it played out, I'm glad I just did not take a full loss today, because that would have been annoying. Just keeping it real. But yeah, the annoying thing is, Top Step used to be so good at this, but now it's like so bad. So if price is very volatile like it was today and like how it usually is, it's not gonna feel you where you want your fill to be. Like right here was like $25 in profit. I should be break even on the day, slightly above, but I got a horrible fill. Ended up getting negative $60. I mean, it's not even real money, but still, it's annoying. Like, what if that was an XFA? And I don't know, certain circumstances where I need a, like, what if like I need a profit target? Like, what if I was trying to pass an eval, I have my TP, and then I'm short off because I got filled at a horrible spot? That would be annoying. Um, but yeah, where's the actual price I got stopped out at? 988.50. So I got stopped out like, yeah, right here. So that's annoying. But dude, it's not even real, so why am I tripping? But yeah, I mean, look at this reversal. It's just like we dumped how many points? Maybe we were oversold 300 points, and we had a big overnight move. This big overnight dump. I thought today was gonna honestly be choppy and rangy because it's a Monday and also that big overnight move. But I mean, you're gonna give me an entry to these to go lower, then shit, I'm gonna take it. But another thing to mention is that, I mean, my stop loss really isn't protected, so that's something to note. Because we easily could have just filled that 15-minute gap and then go down. But also, the draw wasn't really clear. I mean, this is not even a low on the 4-hour. This does not have to get hit. And yeah, but coming into the day, I thought we could have flipped bullish because we did have a bearish SMT at the time. I mean, bullish SMT. And on ES, as you can see, SMT at the time, and we're in this big gap, so this low can really be high resistant. You don't need to really trade into this low anymore, but just looking at the structure, I mean, so bearish, but that's really it for the day. I mean, I'm just grateful that I didn't take a full loss today. I'm not sure if that's a good thing to how I should feel about a trade. I should just accept the loss if I lost. But yeah, that's how today went. Not the best, not the worst, but yeah, that's really it. So on to the next one. God bless.